Time now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now here's Jay.
And yes, please use that number. You know that for a living I do reverse mortgages. I really want to hear someone who thinks they don't like reverse mortgages. That would be, I think, a great conversation and a learning experience for both of us. So that number again is 951-922-3532, and welcome to the Educated Retirement Radio here on KMET 1490, where we contemplate retirement and how best to prepare for retirement and how to best stay successfully retired. We have a great guest on, another repeat offender, Christopher Bissonnette, president of the Orange County Society for Financial Awareness. But his mission in life is financial awareness no matter where you happen to be. So in the meantime, please call, email, or visit www.drheckham.com. And while you're there, be sure to look down for the YouTube link. That'll take you to all of the shows very soon after they appear, and all of the guests, and separate. So you can separate the guests from me if you want. And remember, my off-site telephone number is 866-955-2233, where knowledge is power. 866-955-2233. And just in case I don't know exactly where the camera's pointing, let me make sure I move it around. It's more exciting when things move around. Anyway, so you know I have a day job at the Loan Source, NMLS 384565, Department of Real Estate 792630, and I don't sell real estate, but I am involved with that. So we've got a couple of things. You know, today is a special day. It is 9/11, and there is no shortage of programs all around, but when we go into our things about history, we try to keep it fairly upbeat. 9/11 is not particularly upbeat, except, of course, for the way we responded to it. So we will get on with a couple other things when it comes to today. And the first thing will be we're going to replace a couple. Let me get to one more thing before we bring on NASA Nellie. Today is National Mortgage Professional Month. Okay, and that is to honor all of those people who help others finance homes, including processors, funders, loan officers, and all involved. Now, there are at least, and Sean can tell me or maybe bring me up to date if I'm missing anything. I don't think so. But there are at least 3 of us on KMET who are lenders. And that would be Jeff Barton, the Mortgage Voice, who is on Sundays at 10 a.m. Ron Siegel, who is also a personal friend of mine and whose show I appear fairly often. Ron Siegel is on Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. So, again, we're going to replace the rest of what happened this day in history. We're going to get a report, an important report from NASA Nellie on what happened on this day. And here she goes.
Now, on this day, it all started in a small town of about 300 people in West Virginia. In these Appalachian hills at dusk on September 12, 1952, a red light streaked across the sky and a crash was heard on a nearby farm. A small family and friends, along with Mrs. May, her children, and a dog, checked it out when they reported seeing a 10-foot monster through the mist. They said it was made of dark metal with bright eyes and a green face that glowed as it hissed, and it glided and floated above the ground. The family screamed and ran in terror. Shortly thereafter, The military, National Guard, and plainclothesmen studied the scene. This fantastic story made the local newspapers and radio all over the country. Mrs. May said, and a member of the National Guard ended up going to New York to report it on CBS television. Thus, the introduction of the Flatwoods Monster. The Air Force concluded that it may have been a meteor and the creature was merely a large owl, but the witnesses knew better. UFO writers Gray Barker and Ivan T. Sanderson investigated the case, as well as famous Long John Neville Radio, who reported it. After all these years, there's still an operating museum about the Flatwoods Monster in town, as well as an annual Flatwoods Monster Festival. During the 50th anniversary in 2002, ufologist Stanton Freeman gave a lecture at the fest in a general store where two of the original witnesses were special guests. A collection of books, statues, and memorabilia, I can't even say it, as well as shot glasses and t-shirts can still be purchased at the museum. You could even film in the museum and set up an interview. And just to let you know, the Flatwoods is 150 miles from Point Pleasant, home of the Mothman.
And we all know about the Mothman. And it may be home of the Mothman, but I believe most of the reports lately have shown the Mothman to be living in and around Chicago or its bridges and rivers. So in any case, now, Sean, should we just keep rolling? We forgot to talk about this up front. Should I just keep rolling till 25 after?
Yep, keep rolling.
What's it? Just roll with it. Okay. So the following I lifted from a guy named Shannon Hicks of Heckham World. He is somebody I look up to and helps out a lot in the industry. So I paraphrase a little bit and change the tense, but here's what he had to say. Like it or not, the reality is that fear and anxiety sell. To put a point on it, fear motivates us to take protective steps to reduce risks with a reasonable solution where we would typically run to comfort instead. As it is said, action defers anxiety. So let's take a couple examples. A young income earner worries his family would suffer financially should he die prematurely. Well, they go out and they purchase a life insurance policy. So ethically, we never want to sell only based on a position of fear. However, we should ask ourselves the uncomfortable questions, such as what if questions. What if to uncover hidden fears? Those things you wouldn't volunteer to discuss, yet eat away at your peace of mind. After all, it is better to shy away from sensitive topics. Is it? I'm sorry, let me add, that's a question. After all, is it better to shy away from sensitive topics for our own comfort, or check to see if we could benefit by taking some proactive steps to leverage our home's values? More examples. Fear. The U.S. debt just added $2 trillion to the federal ledger, making federal debt exceed our annual gross domestic product for the first time since World War II. Higher taxes are likely to follow. Action. They convert their existing IRAs to Roth IRAs to stop future tax liabilities. And I'll finish with this fear, which looks like could be around the corner. Inflation is likely to increase substantially in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, making nearly everything more expensive. The action, they go out and get a reverse mortgage, which eliminates existing mortgage payments and leaves you with an available line of credit should they need to increase their cash flow even more in the future. So hopefully that helps. And Remember, when it comes to the heck'em or the reverse, know the facts, compare the numbers. It's much too important an issue to ignore, and you certainly don't want to eliminate it based on not fully understanding it. Remember that equity availability programs like this are not a belief system. It's not a religion, it's just math. The flexibility and security gives you much more than just math. Call me, 866-955-2233, or just email me at bestloantoday@gmail.com. Okay, and remember, I do have a list of people who are ready to jump in and give you advice. Hopefully, you will call on me to find some trusted advice for you. So, we need to remember those that are a part of this program. We believe in challenging the status quo, and families and people need to be active, not proactive. Okay, remember, we are here on the Educated Retirement Radio on KMET, and call me at 866-955-2233. So, we've got whose birthday is it today? Now, hopefully Lewis is watching or listening, and Lewis knows it's been a challenging day today. Earl Holliman was born in 1928, which puts him at 91 years old today. He's an American actor who is in over 50 films, including one of my favorites, and won the Golden Globe for his role in The Rainmaker. And how about that Twilight Zone episode, Where Is Everyone? He did everything from building airplanes and jets I don't know if there were jets back then, at North American, and he had a short singing and touring career as an actor. Big time animal activist, and even helped animals come back to, he even helped bring them back in his backyard, so, things that were crawling around and running around the neighborhood. Now, the movie he was in that I really put at the top of my list is, let me start off this. Here, eat your heart out, Lewis. Look at that. That's a picture disc. That's the music from Forbidden Planet. And here's the laser disc. Again, I show laser discs when I can because they're bigger pictures. Okay. But, of course, we do have that on regular DVD, Blu-ray, and all that good stuff. Here is a regular record of the music from Forbidden Planet, and original soundtrack. I know, and that's by Lewis and B.B. Barron. And there was a whole lot of controversy when it came to best musical score, at least, whether they were being nominated or not, because it wasn't exactly, which is the front on this thing? This is, anyway, take a look at that. That is a model of their spaceship. And I think we got this years ago at a place called Monsters in Motion. And I think Monsters in Motion's brick and mortar may not be there anymore.
Yes, it is.
It is, but I know you can get it, see it anywhere on the internet. Okay, and we're not done yet. Anyway, he played the cook who asked Robbie the robot to make 480 pints of genuine Kansas City bourbon just for cooking purposes because he took his duties very seriously. It was the first film to take place entirely on another planet, Altair 4, and of course, what's her name? What was her name? Look at that.
Anne Francis.
Huh?
Anne Francis.
Anne Francis played Altera. And of course, here's Robbie. Now, we have a collection of many Robbies. Okay, and here he is to say hello. We even there's a switch on his back. I think he lights up and does his sound effects. But anyway, there's Robbie, And my wife had this special made for me. It's a model of the blaster. Oh, that's right. Bring him back. As you might be able to see, there is the blaster itself Robbie has in his hand, and here is the real blaster. Okay, so thank you very much. So, anyway, it's the first time a film had 100% electronic score, and we've already shown that. And did you know that some of it was shot on the same set as Wizard of Oz? The garden scenes from Forbidden Planet came from the land of the Munchkins. I can't believe these things. Oh, well, all right. Here's some autographs from Munchkins. Okay. I didn't know we were showing this, but the show's director is over here handing me things. So that is that. So, one more thing that you might or might not recall or know is 1701 is the serial number of the Starship Enterprise from the original Star Trek series. I don't know if I have a picture of that. Right. What's on the picture? Oh, yeah. Okay. Don't look at the rest of this because I'm going to show it later. But see, 1701, that is what was on the clock and was being repeated in the movie Forbidden Planet. It's the time that the spaceship entered the orbit around Altair 4. So they say that comes directly from that, and why not? So another connection. Brian De Palma was also born on this day in 1940. American director, best known for his work in suspense and psychological thrillers. He was a physics student who was very influenced by Hitchcock. His favorite films are Citizen Kane and Vertigo. And you know, I'm pretty close to that same list myself. And you can ask yourself what yours are. His first big success was Carrie. I know I've got it around here, but so be it. And Carrie was 1976. It was the first big screen adaptation of a Stephen King novel. First major film for John Travolta also, who was also in De Palma's Blowout, which was kind of a takeoff on Blow Up, which was Zephyr. Who was the guy that did Blow Up? But Blow Up was great too. That director did some others like I don't know, Zabriskie Point, which I didn't really care for too much. But anyway, Blow Up was great, and Blowout I thought was very, very entertaining also. So we've got that. And you remember in this time that the Black Swan is always out there. It's like the X-Files, unlike the X, you do not want to believe, but it is always true. If you don't realize how much more you can be protected with a retirement mortgage, retired or not, call me. Create those memories now. Again, this is Jay Kaplan. We are here on the Educated Retirement Radio on KMET. And before we take our break and bring on our guest, this day in history, Star Trek premiered in 1966. And saying hello. But just so that you don't forget, there he is. Now, you know, I showed you on the show before William Shatner singing, but I couldn't find, my wife and I, neither one of us could find the album. So there. But I mean, this one, Leonard Nimoy presents Mr. Spock's Music from Outer Space, and again, the 1701 is showing. So we're in great shape there. just here's a just an album from the music from the first motion picture, which ties in a little bit here. But it actually has, as I said, included a full color insert suitable for friendship prize. Now, I didn't think it was that great, or else I'd pull it out and show it to you. But so be it. It's an important date anyway, from that point of view. So there's more than one thing going on today. And with that, I'm going to give it back to Sean so he can let our sponsors have a break. And then we'll be coming back with Chris Bissonnette, who is going to tell you all. I mean, he's going to save hundreds of thousands of dollars for you if you've got anybody looking for anybody thinking of going to college. Okay, so take a break and let's talk to you soon. Take care.